Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is VC Pramod with the Midday News. The headlines: more than 37 crore 73 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. National recovery rate improves to 97.22%, over 37,000 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. All educational institutions above class 10s open in Bihar from today with 50% attendance. World-famous Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath begins today at Puri in Odisha. Budget session of the Assam Assembly begins in Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with Tokyo Olympics-bound athletes tomorrow. Punjab leads Indian hockey team in the Olympics after 21 years. Italy crowned Euro Cup 2020 champions after shootout win over England. Novak Djokovic lifts sixth Wimbledon tennis title after beating Matteo Berrettini of Italy. And in women's cricket, India level series 1-1 after defeating England by 8 runs in second T20. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline number 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news. More than 37 crore 73 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. As per the Health Ministry, over 12 lakh 35,000 vaccine doses were given in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has gone up to 97.22%. More than 39,000 people recovered from COVID-19 infection in the last 24 hours. India reported over 37,000 new cases in the last 24 hours. The active caseload is currently at 4,50,899. Active cases constitute 1.46% of total cases. Daily positivity rate is at 2.59% and it is less than 3% for 21 consecutive days. 724 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours. The central government has provided over 38.86 crore vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. More than 1.54 crore balance and unutilized COVID vaccine doses are still available. Over 63.84 lakh doses are in the pipeline for states and UTs. The Union Health Ministry has said it is committed to accelerating the pace and expanding the scope of COVID-19 vaccination throughout the country.
The Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah has said that the Modi government is providing a Suraksha Kavach to the people against the coronavirus by taking up the massive vaccination drive. He was speaking after laying the foundation stones of various projects worth 244 crore rupees in Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar yesterday. He said that Gujarat tops in the vaccination drive in the country by registering the highest per million vaccination numbers. He asked BJP workers to ensure that everybody in their area is vaccinated. Shri Shah also advised party workers to fight vaccine hesitancy and spread the message that the vaccination against the COVID-19 is safe. He said that though there was a shortage of oxygen during the second wave of COVID-19, the union government has taken up the task of setting up oxygen plants in hospitals and substantially augmenting the production capacity. Shri Shah is scheduled to dedicate the newly built Narcotics and Psychotropic Substances Detection Center at National Forensic Science University in Gandhinagar this evening, along with other projects. The Union Home and Cooperation Minister is on a 3-day visit to his home. Telangana State Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan has stressed upon the need for promoting 100% vaccination among tribal communities and dispelling vaccine hesitancy. She took her second dose of COVID-19 vaccine this morning at the KC Thanda, a tribal habitation in Maheshwaram block of Rangareddy district in Telangana. Speaking on the occasion, she asked officials to take special measures for 100% vaccination coverage of tribal people, especially to cover the primitive tribal groups in the remote areas of the state.
There are misconceptions with regard to COVID-19 vaccine and child-rearing capacity among women. Experts have clarified that the vaccine doesn't cause damage to child-rearing capacity. Director AIMS Bhubaneswar Dr. Gitanjali said the vaccines are safe and urged women to come forward to get themselves vaccinated.
There is no evidence to support that vaccines in any way hamper child-rearing capacity. The COVID-19 vaccines which are being given in India are safe, and I would urge every woman in her child-bearing age group to please come forward and take the vaccine without feeling any hesitancy.
She also clarified that the vaccines are safe for women who are breastfeeding.
The vaccines are safe for women who are breastfeeding or lactating, and so women should not hesitate to take the vaccine. So please go ahead and take the vaccine because it is very safe.
Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister Dr. Ashwathanarayan has said that higher educational institutions will open in the state only after the students and lecturers are vaccinated. Speaking to media persons in Hubballi today, Dr. Narayana said that preparations are being made to open classrooms for physical classes, but a decision will be taken on this only after complete vaccination. On precautions being taken for the COVID third wave, he said health infrastructure is augmented to suit the needs of the third wave if it strikes in future. In Bihar, all educational institutions above class 10s opened from today with 50% attendance. Coaching institutions will remain closed. All institutions of higher education, including technical and professional colleges, resumed offline classes with 50% attendance. Schools reopened partially, allowing only 50% kids on premises on alternate days. Offline classes of educational institutions were suspended from April the 5th of this year, following the onset of the second wave of COVID-19. All postgraduate departments and colleges have been instructed to run practical classes in offline mode by calling students in small batches.
The budget session of the Assam Assembly has begun today at Dispur in Guwahati. Opposition parties have staged a walkout as Speaker Bishwajit Daimari didn't allow the adjournment motion proposal on price rise issue. The opposition parties, including Congress and AIUDF, displayed placards on alleged price rise in the state. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma said that government is always ready to hold peace talks with all militant outfits within the framework of the Constitution. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia today held a meeting with Air India officials. MOS in the ministry, General V.K. Singh, was also present. Senior officials of Air India briefed the minister. Disinvestment-bound Air India is looking to raise 300 crore rupees by selling commercial and residential real estate assets in different parts of the country.
Rao Inderjeet Singh took charge as Union Minister of State in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA, today. Earlier, Mr. Singh has already taken charge as Union Minister of State, Independent Charge for Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Corporate Affairs Secretary Rajesh Verma welcomed the minister. Ashwini Kumar Chaubey assumed charge as Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change today. He was welcomed by Secretary of the Ministry, R.P. Gupta, and other senior officials. Mr. Chaubey, before assuming charge, planted a tree sapling at the premises of the ministry. He said in the last 7 years, the Environment Ministry has done many unprecedented works and emphasized that increasing the forest cover further would be a priority area.
A fake website claiming to be the official website of the Territorial Army is inviting applications for various posts. In a tweet, Press Information Bureau has clarified that this website and recruitment notification on it are fake. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has said that the monsoon session of both the Houses of Parliament will commence from the 19th of this month. He said the session of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha will conclude on the 13th of August. Briefing media in New Delhi, Mr. Birla said there will be 19 sittings during the monsoon session. He said that the sitting of both the houses will be held from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. during the session. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. More than 37 crore 73 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. National recovery rate improves to 97.22%, over 37,000 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. All educational institutions above class 10 open in Bihar from today with 50% attendance. World-famous Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath begins today at Puri in Odisha. Budget session of the Assam Assembly begins in Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with Tokyo Olympics-bound athletes tomorrow. Punjab leads Indian hockey team in the Olympics after 21 years. Italy crowned Euro Cup 2020 champions after shootout win over England. Novak Djokovic lifts 6th Wimbledon tennis title after beating Matteo Berrettini of Italy. And in women's cricket, India level series 1-1 after defeating England by 8 runs in the second T20. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मात नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मात नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling Helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back to the Midday News. In Odisha, the world-famous Rath Yatra is being held in the holy city of Puri with tight security arrangements and COVID-19 protocols. This is the second consecutive year that the car festival in Puri is being held without the general devotees due to the pandemic. Many dignitaries, including the President, Vice President, the Prime Minister and Chief Minister of Odisha, have greeted the people on the occasion.
Greeting people on the occasion of the Rath Yatra, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said, "We bow to Lord Jagannath and pray that his blessings bring good health and prosperity in everyone's life." Meanwhile, after the ritualistic ushering in of the deities onto their respective raths, the pulling of the grand chariots on the Grand Road in Puri has already begun, about 3 hours ahead of the schedule. At the time of filing of the story, Sebayats or the servitors have started pulling Tala Dhwaja, the divine Rath of Lord Sri Balabhadra, followed by Darpadalana, the grand Rath of Devi Subhadra. As per tradition, Nandi Ghosha, the majestic Rath of Lord Sri Jagannath, is pulled at the last. The Raths are heading towards Sri Gundicha Mandir, where the deities will have their 9-day sojourn before returning to Sri Mandir, their divine abode. Girish Chandradas, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
In Gujarat, the 144th annual Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath in Ahmedabad returns to the temple before noon. The Rath Yatra passed off peacefully amid the tight security arrangements. According to sources, the Rath Yatra passed through its 19-kilometer traditional route without any mass gatherings due to COVID-19 pandemic. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that Union Home Minister Amit Shah participated in the Mangla Aarti at Lord Jagannath Temple early this morning before the start of the Rath Yatra. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted people, especially devotees in Odisha, on the occasion of Jagannath's Rath Yatra. In a tweet, Mr. Kovind wished that with the blessings of Lord Jagannath, the lives of all the countrymen remain full of happiness, prosperity and health. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted people on the occasion of Rath Yatra. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, "We bow to Lord Jagannath and pray that his blessings bring good health and prosperity in everyone's lives." Home Minister Amit Shah has greeted people on the occasion of Sri Jagannath Rath Yatra.
In Rajasthan, 22 people died in lightning at different places yesterday. 11 people died and more than a dozen were injured when lightning struck a watchtower at Amer Fort near Jaipur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund to the next of kin of those who lost their lives due to lightning in various parts of Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. 50,000 rupees would be provided to the injured. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has expressed his deepest condolences over the deaths of people due to lightning strikes in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Mr. Thakur also wished the injured people a speedy recovery.
After a long break, monsoon has revived in many parts of Maharashtra. Districts in Marathwada, Vidarbha and Konkan region are receiving very heavy rain and normal life is being disrupted at many places due to waterlogging and damaged roads. More than 6 persons have died in the rain-related incidents in the state. Mumbai and suburbs are also expected to receive heavy rain in the next 4 days. More from our correspondent.
In Sindhudurga district, Kharepatan city is facing flood-like situation due to overflowing Sukh river. 147 mm rain was recorded in the district in last 24 hours. Rajapur Tehsil has received the highest rainfall of 153 mm in last 24 hours and the city may face flood-like situation due to the rise in the water level of Godavari river. Nanded district received 122 mm rain in the last 24 hours. Heavy rain caused waterlogging in Nanded city and the floodwater damaged crops in rural parts of the district. 1 person died due to lightning in Nanded district. 2 persons died in Hingoli district as their car was washed away in overflowing stream. Bridges were also washed away in Raigad and Yavatmal districts and 2 vehicles were washed away in Raigad district, claiming 2 more lives. Mumbai and neighboring Thane and Palghar districts are experiencing intermittent showers but may receive very heavy rain in the next 3-4 days. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Himachal Pradesh, monsoon has become completely active, following which many parts of the state have received heavy rains. The tourist place Bhagsu in Kangra district and other areas have been receiving heavy rain since last night. As a result, rivers and rivulets are in spate. Pathankot Mandi National Highway has been disrupted at Rajol and 32 Mil due to heavy rain and landslide. Rajoy Ansui Motor Bridge at Shahpur has also been damaged due to heavy rain, after which vehicular movement has been stopped. On the other hand, the state capital Shimla and its adjoining areas have been receiving moderate to intermittent rain since morning. Meanwhile, the State Meteorological Department has issued a warning of heavy to very heavy rain and lightning at isolated places over the middle and lower hills, including the plains, for the next 2 days.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief at the demise of His Holiness Moran Mar Basilios Marthoma Paulos II, the supreme head of the Indian Orthodox Church. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he leaves behind a rich legacy of service and compassion. The Prime Minister said, in this hour of grief, his thoughts are with the members of the Orthodox Church. In Tamil Nadu, superstar Rajinikanth dissolved his outfit Rajini Makkal Mandiram today. Rajinikanth had called for a meeting with the members of the Rajini Makkal Mandiram and discussed whether to continue with the Mandirams. The actor said that he was unable to enter politics due to his health conditions and wanted to dissolve the Mandiram. His decision was accepted by the office bearers. He later said that his fans can continue with the welfare activities. The actor, who was away to the US last week to have a medical checkup, returned a couple of days back.
In Tamil Nadu, the all-party meeting led by Chief Minister M.K. Stalin today has unilaterally resolved to present a memorandum to the Union government on the Mekedatu issue. The all-party meeting passed 3 resolutions which reiterated to seek a legal remedy to prevent Karnataka from proceeding further to build the Mekedatu reservoir on Kaveri River. More from our correspondent.
The resolution at the all-party meeting stated that the political parties in the state will stand in unison on the Meghadadu issue. The resolution also stated that Karnataka should implement the Supreme Court judgment in sharing water and also discuss before taking any construction activity like building a reservoir which would hamper water supply to Tamil Nadu. Earlier speaking at the meeting, Chief Minister said that building a reservoir at Meghadadu will certainly reduce water sharing for the state. Listing out the various steps taken by Tamil Nadu on the Kaveri issue, Stalin said that it was time for all party members to take a unified stand since Kaveri water was the lifeline of lakhs of farmers living in the delta districts of the state. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
This is All India Radio giving you the news.
दुनिया रंग बिरंगी, खट्टे मीठे रसीले समाचारों का सतरंगी खजाना आकाशवाणी पर। खबरें होंगी हटकर, जानेंगे कुछ अलग, हंसेंगे खुलकर, करेंगे सजग। सुनना न भूलें सोमवार और मंगलवार 8 सवेरे तथा शनिवार और रविवार कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with the Tokyo-bound athletes virtually tomorrow. Last month, Mr. Modi had reviewed India's Olympics preparations on the occasion of 50 days to Tokyo Olympics. During the course of the review, Mr. Modi was apprised about the various steps taken towards ensuring uninterrupted training for athletes amidst the pandemic, participation in international competitions to win Olympic quota, vaccination of athletes, and customized support being provided to them. Tomorrow's event will be attended by Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur, Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports Nishit Pramanik, and Law Minister Kiren Rijiju. A total of 126 athletes across 18 sports disciplines from India will be heading to Tokyo. This is the biggest ever contingent India is sending to any Olympics. After 21 years, Punjab got the captaincy of the Indian hockey team in the Olympics. Manpreet Singh, DSP of Punjab Police, will lead Indian hockey team as captain in the Tokyo Olympics. He will also be the flag bearer of the Indian contingent. Sharing the details of players going to Tokyo, Punjab Sports Minister Rana Gurmeet Sodhi said that other athletes from Punjab who qualified for the men's Olympic hockey team include Harmanpreet Singh, Rupinder Pal Singh and Hardik Singh, Shamsher Singh, Dilpreet Singh, Gurjant Singh and Mandeep Singh. He said that athlete Gurjeet Kaur from Punjab is also part of the women's hockey team for the Olympics.
With 12 days to go for the Tokyo Olympic Games, AIR will take you today through the women wrestler in 62 kilogram freestyle category, Sonam Malik's journey from a small village in Haryana to the Olympics.
Born on April 15, 2002 in Medina village of Sonipat, Sonam is the winner of a gold medal at the National Games and 2 gold medals at the World Cadet Wrestling Championship. Born in a family where her father and her cousin were wrestlers, Sonam pursued the sport under coach Ajmer Malik at the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Sports Complex in her village. The teenager took big strides in wrestling when she won 2 gold medals in 2017 and 2019. Initially, her coach was preparing Sonam for the 2024 Paris Olympics, but seeing her capabilities as a world beater, the sudden change in plan happened. It did not take the 19-year-old long to edge past 2016 Rio bronze medalist Sakshi Malik. In January 2020, when she was up trailing 4-6 and then 6-10 against Sakshi in her first ever bout. But in dying moments, Sonam pulled off a 4-pointer to shock her fancied rival. Not once or twice, Sonam beat Sakshi 4 times in a row. The resounding success makes Sonam the best woman wrestler in the 62 kg category, and seeing her fledgling career, it can be easily said Sonam would be one of India's best bets for a medal in women's wrestling when they reach Tokyo only few days from now. Sports Desk, AIR News.
Listeners from all corners of the country are participating in the Olympic quiz of AIR News. To participate in the quiz, tune into our Sports Scan program every day at 7:20 p.m.
In the run-up to the Tokyo Olympics, the News Services Division of All India Radio in its Sports Scan program is broadcasting every day Olympics quiz with AIR News. Olympics quiz आकाशवाणी समाचार के साथ in Hindi. Every day a question related to Olympics will be asked at the beginning and closing of the program. To participate in this program, listeners can send the replies by email on airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer received through email will be adjudged the winner of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in Sports Scan program the next day. It will also be flashed on AIR Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The Sports Authority of India will provide India team jerseys jersey to the winner. So tune in to the Sports Scan program every day at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
World number 1 Novak Djokovic has clinched the 6th Wimbledon title to equal record of 20th Grand Slam trophies after beating 7th seed Matteo Berrettini of Italy. The 34-year-old Serbian won the men's single final by 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3 in 3 hours and 24 minutes last night. Djokovic is now level with Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal in the list of the most singles Grand Slam titles in men's history. In women's cricket, India beat hosts England by 8 runs in a thrilling match, leveling the T20 series 1-1 at Hove last night. Put into bat first, India scored 148 for 4 in the stipulated 20 overs. Shefali Verma made a superb 48 runs in 38 balls. While skipper Harmanpreet Kaur was out for 31 runs, Smriti Mandhana contributed 20 runs. Deepti Sharma remained not out on 24. In reply, England could only manage 140 for 8 in 20 overs with the help of Tammy Beaumont 59 and Heather Knight 30.
Italy were crowned Euro Cup 2020 champions after a shootout win over England last night. Italy beat England 3-2 on penalties after the Euro 2020 final ended 1-1 following extra time at Wembley to secure their second European Championship title. Italy goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma was the hero for the Azzurri in the shootout, while substitutes Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka failed to convert from the spot for England. It was the first final to be decided on penalties since Czechoslovakia beat West Germany in 1976. Italy had lost in the final in 2000 and 2012. Italians poured into the streets and squares in massive numbers on Sunday as the national soccer team beat England to win Euro 2020. The celebrations of success are widely seen as a rebound from the heartbreak failure of not qualifying for the last World Cup. The Sensex and the Nifty today logged modest gains in afternoon trade. Both stocks added around 0.1% amid positive Asian market cues. The BSE Sensex rose 45 points or 0.09% to trade at 52,432. The NSE Nifty also added 22 points or 0.14% to trade at 15,712.
Thousands of people have protested against Cuba's communist government in the capital Havana and several other cities in the biggest demonstrations on the island in almost 30 years. Marchers were seen calling for freedom, democracy and demanding vaccines to tackle the coronavirus pandemic.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. The national capital, Delhi, may witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 27 degrees. Maximum may go up to 37 degrees. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum temperature was 24 degrees. Maximum expected to be around 28. Chennai is expected to have cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 26 and 35. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Lower limit of temperature was 28 degrees Celsius. Upper level may go up to 34. Jammu is likely to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Srinagar will have cloudy sky with moderate rain too. Agartala will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Aizawl will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Shillong will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers as well. Gangtok will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Guwahati will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. More than 37 crore 73 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. National recovery rate improves to 97.22% over 37,000 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. All educational institutions above class 10s to open in Bihar from today with 50% attendance. World famous Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath begins today at Puri in Odisha. Budget session of the Assam Assembly begins in Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with Tokyo Olympics bound athletes tomorrow. Punjab leads Indian hockey team in the Olympics after 21 years. Italy crowned Euro Cup 2020 champions after shootout win over England. Novak Djokovic lifts 6th Wimbledon tennis title after beating Matteo Berrettini of Italy. And in women's cricket, India level series 1-1 after defeating England by 8 runs in second T20. And with that, we end the midday news.